Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So you guys know we're on lockdown for the Rona. And what better time than now than to tell stories. As you guys can see from the title, it's going to be a story time on the first time I ever gotten into a fight. And I'm just going to jump into it right now. So this was in 2012. I was 12 years old and my sister was 14. Yeah, 14. And we were down the beach because she was going into high school. So she wanted to meet new people. So when she went to school, she would know people, yada, yada, yada. So we were down 17th Street. If you're from Virginia Beach, you know about 17th Street with the stage and the Dairy Queen. That's the hangout. It's such a hangout spot. And I feel like it's like a tradition. If you're from Virginia Beach, you can, can you even say you're from Virginia Beach if you've not gotten into a fight down there? I don't think you can. But so we were down 17th Street and it was a hot day. I think it was in August or something like that. It was super hot, so it was a whole bunch of people down the beach and everything. So this is what happened. My sister was, I had left my sister right quick. So she stayed towards the stage and I had went to the Dairy Queen to go use the bathroom. So I'm not ultimately sure what had happened, and I don't think my sister knows exactly what happened, but there were two guys. It was a transvestite, and then there was this other dude who was in this gang, and I guess he was a gang, the head gang, I don't really know. But all I know is them people were crazy. They did coke and and Zans and perks, and they just did a whole bunch of excessive shit. They were just crazy. They were so coked up, they would do stupid stuff. So, for instance, this day. So, I don't know what had happened that led up to this, but the gang guy, he threw a bike, like a full-on fucking bicycle at this nigga. He threw the bike at the boy, the transvestite. He threw a bike at him in his face. So, the boy was, coughing on blood and all this other stuff. And my sister, she's a med student and stuff. Well, she wasn't a med student at the time, but she already knew she wanted to be in the medical field. So she was she ran over there and she was like, oh my God, you gotta turn him on his side and so he doesn't choke in the blood and da 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 da. And somebody handed her a phone and told her to call 911, call the ambulance and stuff. So obviously you're gonna call the ambulance, but my sister had no intentions on saying who did it or even saying what happened. She really just was gonna call the ambulance and leave it at that because she didn't know what happened. And as she was on the phone with the ambulance, the gang member's girlfriend came up to her and was like, who the fuck are you calling, and grabbed the phone out of her hand and hung it up and was like, you gonna fucking snitch. I'm telling y'all, they were coked up. They didn't understand what was going on. They were so dumb. But they were she was like, who the fuck are you calling, and all this other stuff. And she thought my sister was snitching. So my sister was just like, no, I'm just calling the ambulance. He's bleeding. He needs help and all this other stuff. So the girl was like, no, da, da, da. She was a white girl. And my sister's white too, so I don't care. But she was like, no, bitch, and da, 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 da. My sister was just like, okay. So, then that's when the girl decided to pull my sister's hair, and my sister was like, what the fuck? And she started to pull my sister's hair, and my sister I'm not sure exactly what happened, but she pulled my sister's hair, and then my sister was hitting her and yada yada yada. Mind you, I'm nowhere near them and stuff like that. I don't know if I already said this, but the second child, I'm telling y'all, the second child is crazy. Man, when I tell you. Okay, so I'm all the way on the Dairy Queen by the bathrooms. I think I had to use the bathroom. And I was coming back. And as I'm coming out the bathroom, this girl who is my sister's friend, was my sister's friend, she came up to me and was like, oh my God, your sister Bree's in a fight. And that's my sister's name. She was like, your sister's in a fight. She's in a fight. And I was like, what? So I ran, and as I'm running, I see all my sister's friends. They're just literally just standing there, nobody's over there. So I'm like, okay, if y'all over here, where's my sister at? So I'm running, and as I'm running, there's grass, and it's always muddy right there. So I slip, and I get back up so fast, and I tell you, there's this big ass circle of people. So I make my way through the circle. And I see my sister on the ground, and she's yelling somebody get this bitch off of me. She's yelling that, and I'm just I didn't even get a chance to look. I ran out there so fast, and I was like, boom, boom, boom. I was beating the fuck out of this girl. beating her in her head because she had my sister's hair and my sister had her hair and my sister is hitting her, but like literally, and I'm like boom, boom, boom. So I'm hitting the girl and I probably get about 5-7 hits in on her. And as I'm hitting her, I feel somebody pull my hair. Now, mind y'all, if y'all know how I looked in middle school when I was 12, 13, 14, y'all know I was bald. Y'all know I was bald. Like, so I was bald and I used to always have grease in my hair. So I feel somebody pull my little bald head. And somebody, like, mind you, I'm bald headed, so they obviously can't have, and it's greasy, so they can't have a grip for real. So like their hands let go. So as I'm pulled off to the side, I look up and it's this girl. She was smiling at me and she was like this. And I was like, oh, okay, bitch. So I ran up to her and I was like, boom, boom. And I was beating the fuck out of this girl. Like, I was whooping her ass. Like, I was beating, because I wanted to beat her ass then so I could run back to my sister. So I was whooping her ass. I tell you, I promise you, this girl got no hits. Like, she had this big ass ring on and she punched me in my eye. That was the only hit she got. And then all these other fights break out. Like, the dude that threw the bike, he was trying to help his girlfriend, so he decides to stomp my sister. He literally, a nigga stomped my sister. And so my sister was really, really popular. Like, she's social butterfly. She was really popular. So there was this boy that we was hanging out with before all this before all this broke down, and a little white boy. And he seen the boy stomp my sister. And it's crazy because all them people we was hanging out with, none of them helped my sister except for like me and this boy. The boy seen that my sister was getting stomped and he knocked that nigga clean out. Like, knocked that nigga out. Like, we whooped they ass. Like, we wasn't friends with them. Like, we whooped their ass. Like, I'm telling you, my sister whooped the girl ass, I whooped this girl ass, and then that nigga just knocked this nigga out. So I'm still fighting the girl. And that's when you hear the police come, and like it just broke out into like this big brawl. Like, it just broke. Like, when the boy knocked the nigga out that was stomping my sister, like, I guess that's when people started jumping in. I don't really know because I was fighting, but all I know is that's when the police were called. Police come down there, and I tell you, everybody ran. Everybody ran. Like, we ran to the boardwalk. We didn't really run that far. We ran to the boardwalk, and this was the first time me and my sister ever got into both of us never had gotten into like a physical fight, obviously, besides like with us, so it doesn't really count. But we ran to the boardwalk. My sister was like, she was so sad, she was crying, and she was like, I can't believe nobody jumped in. And when I tell y'all, all her friends were like, I was gonna jump in, but like, they was all saying that bullshit, and I was just like, okay. I was thinking, like, y'all are way older than me, and I'm 12, and I just beat the fuck out of somebody, and they all came up to me, was like, oh my god, are you okay? Oh my god, you're so brave. They were white people, y'all, so they was like, oh my god, you're so brave. Like, you know that girl, she was 18, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm about to, like, I was like, what the fuck, I don't give a fuck. So then we was walking, because it was hot at the stage and shit, so we didn't want to go back there. So we was walking, and the girl that I beat up, she seen me and she smiled at me, and I smiled right back at her, because like her face was you know, because I beat her up. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, she had on about like 3-4 rings, something like that. And when she hit me, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, my eye was a little swollen for about 10 minutes. But other than that, I was good. And like, I remember we had went home like an hour after that or something. We went home, you know, because we went to go tell my mom and stuff. Well, my mom wasn't home. So when they come home, well, actually, we wasn't gonna tell my mom. And we get home, and my uncle was like, my uncle had seen it on Facebook that, like, basically, because everybody on Facebook was tagging me and my sister and was like, oh my god, Bree's sister's such a ride or die, and was like, Bree's sister, like, they was going in, they was like, Bree's sister whooped this girl, she's only 12. They was commenting on my wall. They was on my wall and was like, you're so brave, like saying silly shit, like you're so brave, like, huh? And then just a whole bunch of stuff. So that was really it. That was really it. We whooped them. I never seen them again. All I know is I was 12, that girl was 18, and I was whooping her ass. Like, I don't even think I pulled hair, because if I did, she would have been drugged. But, like, I'm telling y'all, I was bald-headed. Like, that's why I was thankful for being bald-headed. Because when you bald-headed, shit like that can't happen. People can't drag you and do all the extra. But she had got me for them little 3, 4, 5 seconds when she got my attention. Now I whooped. Like, no, if you, yeah, like, I whooped her ass. I'm telling y'all, like, I whooped her ass. But when we went home, they was all on my wall and was like, oh my God, you're like, a whole bunch of stuff. And everybody was on Bree's, my sister's page, and was like, oh my God, what was it? It was like, oh my God, are you okay? And I tell y'all, she was not friends with them people ever. Like, after that, she had stopped being friends with them, because they literally was all sitting around, like, nobody jumped in except for me and the other boy. Like, nobody jumped in. It was crazy. And I just found out the other day when me and my sister were like talking about it, that it was on YouTube. But it was like, when I watched it, it was only like 2 seconds that I was in it, so you couldn't really even see that was me or anything. You couldn't see anything. But that is the end of my story time. Yes, I think that was, I've been in like 2 other fights, but they weren't as intense as that. But that was fight. So when y'all be seeing them post about how the second child is crazy, they really are. Like, I'll beat somebody up in not even 1 second for my sister. You just gotta look at my sister wrong and I'll beat you up. Any of them, older, younger, any of them, I'll beat you up for anything. So, but yeah, that's the end of my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys laughed, because every time I think about it, I laugh. And that's the end of it. Stay safe, stay home, and we can get off of this lockdown. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.